We'll skip ahead to about when I was 14, 15 years old, somewhere around there. My brother and his wife, we kind of all lived in a little apartment complex. It was like a house that was divided into apartments. And yeah, people who know me as my male self are probably going to exactly know who I am as soon as if they ever see this video, but who cares? The whole point of this was like this big house is like it was like a bed and breakfast type of house, and it was divided up into these apartments, and I was living upstairs in one of the rooms up there, and my brother and his wife living in one of the apartments in the back, and my mom and my soon-to-be sooner were living in one of the apartments on the side, and my aunt lived below me in the main part of the house, and my other aunt and uncle lived in another apartment on the other side of the house. So that gives you an idea of how big this place was. It was pretty big. And it just so happened that I was starting to get a close relationship with my brother's new wife, and we kind of liked some of the same things, some of the same bands, and blah, 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 blah. She comes upstairs one night when I'm dressed, and I could have very easily just locked myself in my room, said, no, I'm doing something, don't come in, blah, 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 and I'll use that word, blah, 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 and I don't really want to out anybody or tell anybody who it is, but yeah, when she came in upstairs, I could hear her coming. I was just calm. I was like calm as a cucumber, cool as a cucumber, I should say, but yeah, I had no intentions of hiding this from her, because with her having a gay friend, I thought it would be cool that, that I could come out to her and, she would be like, oh, well, I didn't know that about you, but that's alright, not necessarily being like, oh, that frickin' rocks, but, kind of like, oh, that's cool, okay, what, how, maybe asking questions or something like that, but yeah, it didn't quite work out that way. She came upstairs, I opened the door, she had a shirt for me from an REM, it was an REM sweatshirt, and she was like, oh, I brought up this sweatshirt for you, and as I opened the door, I opened it up all the way, and she saw this, well, not this, but, a different version of this. It was a younger version, of course. Let's see. She freaked the hell out. She was like, oh my God, didn't say a word, just ran down the stairs. And apparently, she told my brother, and she told, her gay friend, of course, because she didn't know what the hell was going on. Well, she was freaked out. So, yeah, her brother was kind of like, or my brother was, her husband, my brother, was kind of like freaked out as well. And they came upstairs, found my little clothes, and yeah, that was a very traumatic experience for me when they found all that stuff. I didn't want to out myself to everybody at the time. I just wanted to out myself to a select few, but it ended up being all done. It didn't really out me as far as like the extent of, they didn't know the extent of what I wanted to do, but they got a pretty good idea that something was a little different about me. And so there was some violence from my brother, taken out on some of my possessions. I had a guitar. I had an acoustic guitar and a really nice guitar. I miss it. But yeah, he proceeded to smash my guitar like a frickin' rock band would on stage. Bits and pieces of my guitar and things all over the place, and he smashed it right in front of my face, and, well, not in front of my, like, you know what I mean, but I sat there and watched him smash it. That was kind of traumatic for me. So this all happened when I was about 14 or 15. Skip ahead. High school, kind of kept to myself. I was kind of like a shy, I was a shy person, but I was kind of like friends with everybody. like, anyone could talk to me, and I would say, hey, what's up? I didn't dislike anybody. I didn't, put anyone down because they were different, because I knew in my mind I was way different than they were going to be, more likely than not. So I was friends with the Hicks, I was friends with the Jocks, I was friends with the drama group, I was actually in drama, I was in debate and forensics, I was friends with the band geeks, because I wanted to get in the band. I didn't have enough experience in middle school to get in the high school band, so, but anyway, friends with everyone. I can get along with anyone. And everyone knew who I was, but not necessarily was considered a friend of everyone, you know what I'm saying? I was more like an acquaintance to everyone. So yeah. Skip ahead. Graduation from high school when I was 17, and a couple months later, about 4 or 5 months later, I joined the Marine Corps. And for 4 years in the Marine Corps, I was pretty much done with that, because at this point I was like thinking I was weird. I did it again. I missed 15. Okay, 15. I stole a car. I didn't steal a car. They knocked it down to a misdemeanor, joyriding. My aunt leaves her keys in her car, so I stole her car and went for a joyride while I was dressed. Don't ask me why. It was creepy, crazy. But yeah, I had another person that knew about me and was cool with it, and I was gonna go see her, and didn't make it there because I got pulled over by the state police. Officer Crane, if you're watching, hi, how are you? So yeah, 15. Oh my God, jeez Louise, I can't believe I forgot that. So yeah, I got pulled over, ended up having to go to therapy then. I wish I wouldn't have lied to the therapist, because then I might have gotten diagnosed earlier. Instead, he diagnosed me as a transvestite, cross-dresser, whatever the case may be. He said, when you dress, do you do it for sexual purposes? I'm like, yeah, I was like, I don't know. Not really. Yeah, maybe. He's like, well, if you dress for sexual purposes, then this is what it is. And I was like, bam, quick diagnosis, get me the hell out of here. Yes, I dress for sexual purposes. And so there it was. He kind of planted the seed in my head, of what was going to get me out of that frickin' therapy session the quickest, the quickest diagnosis to get me out of there. So, oh my God, this is probably going to go way over time here. But, so 17, joined Marine Corps, blah, 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 blah. Obviously, I couldn't transition in the Marine Corps, which really drove me nuts. I really tried to do the quote-unquote normal thing, and be male. Joined the military to prove that I wasn't gay, I wasn't weird, I was a normal person, I was a manly man. And so when I was in the Marine Corps, I was like, let's bump this up a notch, let's get married. So I got married. I was like, alright, I'm a man, I'm married to this chick, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it wasn't really her fault that we got a divorce, because it was really my mental thinking. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm stuck married and I'm in the Marine Corps, what the fuck am I doing? Yeah, I was in a bad place. Needless to say, we ended up getting a divorce because I was unhappy, and I took it out on her, and I apologize to you. If you are watching, maybe you can't recognize me, but I ain't gonna name your name. But so yeah. Let's see. Skip ahead. Alpena is oh my God, there's so much to say. I get out of the Marine Corps, I go back to this little small town in Michigan. I somehow go back to work at the same place I was working at before.